Welcome to the Richard Lloyd USA YouTube channel. I'm Richard Lloyd. Today I'm going to do a follow-up video. In my last or previous video, I made a video showing how you can upgrade the Wi-Fi capabilities of any router using a Wi-Fi extender. And in that case, the previous video, it was a Tenda Wi-Fi 6 extender AX3000, and it was the model A33. And great solution for this specific problem. Today I'm going to be doing the same thing, showing you how to upgrade any router, but this time we're going to be using a TP-Link AX3000. It is an RE705X, and I'm going to be hooking it up to a 13-year-old router. This is a D-Link 868L, and it's a great little router, but the Wi-Fi technology in that router is now 13 years old, which means it's slow, right? And it's also ancient as far as security protocols go. We are now into WPA3, and back then this was a very advanced router because it actually had WPA2 in it. You know, we're beyond that. Now we're into WPA3. That's the security protocol for Wi-Fi. If you don't know what that is, just Google it and you'll see a lot of articles telling you what the difference is between WPA, WPA2, and WPA3 are. With this solution, not only are you upgrading the Wi-Fi speed and capability, you're also upgrading the Wi-Fi security at the same time. So all at once. And you get to keep your old router. You don't have to buy a new router. If it's, you know, most routers are, I mean, this one's 13 years old. It's plenty fast for what I need it for, or what most people need it for. I'll show you what I mean on that. Let's go over to my pictures. Okay, so here's this router, and you can see that it connected through Ethernet to my cable modem. I can get 930 megabytes per second, or megabits per second, and 41 megabits upload. So the download is 930, upload is 41. Excellent. That, you know, the limit on my modem anyway, on my service, is 1 gigabit and 40 megabit. So upload. So I'm almost there perfectly with this, you know, 13-year-old router. It's amazing. Let's go over to the Wi-Fi performance, and you can see that it's not that great. On 2.4 gigahertz, I'm getting 120 megabits down and 40 megabits up. And on the 5 gigahertz, 244 down and 41 up. So this is not great. It's actually pretty lacking on this router. Also, another little note is this router is not secure with the stock firmware. I have a video showing you how to put DD-WRT, which is a third-party firmware that makes it secure and safe to use on the internet. If you have this router and you have the stock D-Link firmware in it, do not use it on the internet. It's not secure. It's vulnerable to attacks. So if you don't want to put third-party firmware in it, don't use this router online. It's not a good idea, okay? But this one has the updated DD-WRT firmware. In fact, it was updated probably about a week ago, and it works great and is secure to use on the internet. As you can see, the Wi-Fi performance is definitely lackluster. So here we're going to go next, and let me show you what happens once you hook up this TP-Link extender onto this router. It turns the Wi-Fi from this to this. Okay, so I have 120 on the download on 2.4 gigahertz and 365 on the download on the 2.4 gigahertz and this extender. Same thing here with the 5 gigahertz. You can see that I get at least a 3 times, well, yeah, that would be a 3 times or more update in speed, or upgrade in speed. So beautiful results from this. Okay, now how are we going to do this? Well, what a lot of these manufacturers don't tell you about these extenders, which they're all sold as extenders. They do say that there is an access point or AP mode to it, but they never really sell that. They just leave that alone. Oh, you can use it as an access point. Well, the Wi-Fi on every router is an access point inside your router. This is an access point that's outside of your router, and it works exactly the same way. It just basically is not inside your router. And what we're going to do is use this access point or extender access point to replace the access point inside your router. And I would recommend strongly that you turn off the Wi-Fi in your router once you do this, because having two Wi-Fi networks beside each other creates a lot of noise for both of them, right? So they're both transmitting packets all the time, and they're going to be colliding all the time, and it's going to slow both of them down. And since this access point is 3 times faster than the Wi-Fi in this router, I'd be crazy to leave that on. I just turned it off. A lot of routers have either a switch on the outside, or you go into the configuration and you can shut it off. In the case of this one, I went into the configuration and shut it off. Of course, I'm not using stock firmware. I'm using DD-WRT, third party. Again, I have a video for that. I'll put a link up here for it, as well as the video for the Tenda that I made to do this exact same thing. Now, differences between the Tenda and this one are pretty broad. But performance is almost identical. The technical specs on both access points are nearly identical, really. I mean, the only difference I saw is that the Tenda uses a little bit less power. But other than that, all the specifications are the same, and the performance is very, very similar. So if you look at the Tenda, you can see that it's $29 on Amazon. And I'll put links for this stuff in the video description below. Please use those links. They're affiliate links. They help me keep this channel online and myself doing these videos for you. And it doesn't cost you any more than going directly to Amazon. Also, you buy it from the same sellers that I bought it from, and you get the exact same hardware that I bought, which is sometimes happens that there is different hardware. So do that for me, please. I appreciate it. So yeah, it's $29.99 and a great solution. This one's $74, which is more than twice the price, right? So what's the difference? Well, TP-Link is probably a more mature company than Tenda, number one. Number two, it has a lot of features that the Tenda doesn't have. This TP-Link AX3000 RE705X, if you're using it as an extender, it actually works with the mesh system on a TP-Link mesh. It's called OneMesh, or it also works as an easy mesh extender as well. We're not using it as an extender, so the mesh doesn't really matter. When you use it as an access point, there is no mesh. So again, you know, so you're paying for something in this case that you really wouldn't use. The other thing also is that the TP-Link has way more configuration options than the Tenda. The Tenda is very, very basic in its configuration, and I'll show you the differences here in a minute. The performance is almost identical. You have a lot more features and capabilities on the TP-Link as far as configuration goes. So, now, as you can see here, the performance is amazing, and the Tenda would give you more or less the same performance. If that's all you're looking for, go with the Tenda. It's cheaper. And again, I linked that video here, and probably at the end of this video, it'll be linked as well. So let's go to the next slide here. Here's what the TP-Link looks like. It's basically identical to the Tenda, more or less. You know, if from 20 feet away, from 10 feet away, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two of them. Other than this has 4 lights on it, and the Tenda has a single light in the center. Now, this is one thing about the TP-Link that is a drawback. The Tenda, from power on to operating, is 1 minute. It takes a minute. This one, from power on to operating, or accessible, is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I bought this one on eBay for $45 used, and when I first turned it on, I thought, man, did I get ripped off? This thing's doing nothing. Right? And I probably rebooted it 3 or 4 times just to try and get some activity out of it. I finally gave up and said, okay, I'll probably have to ship it back. It doesn't work. So I walked away. I came back and all 3 lights were on like this. And then I'm going, oh, so it takes forever to boot. That's what the problem is. So that's all that was wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, a feature that's not great on this access point. It takes 2 minutes and 45 seconds to boot. Now, most people, that doesn't matter at all, because you're only going to configure it once, and you're going to boot it a second time, and then it's going to be up and running 365 days a year. Like most access points, like your router is always on, this would always be on as well, because it's the access point to your router once we configure it. So again, for me, when I'm playing with it, it's just kind of annoying, and it takes a long time. So here we're going to go next. Now, I'm assuming you just took it out of the box and you're going to set it up. If you already have this and it's configured, reset it, basically power it up, hold basically a toothpick. That's what I use. It's the safest thing. It's soft. It won't hurt anything. And put it in the reset port for about 10 seconds after you've powered it up. And it should light up like you see here, three blues, one red. And then and that happens after you depress it. So you press it for 10 seconds, let it go, and then you'll see those lights doing that, basically that configuration. So we're going to go next. And then what you'll get also is this, after that is you'll see this blue light on for a long, long time. So let it go for at least 2 minutes and 45 seconds after that, because it's just basically booting at that point. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, once it's up, right? Once it's up, don't connect it to your network or anything. Just leave it alone. It'll be an open. Here, I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off here just for. There we go. It'll be an open access point that you can access through Wi-Fi without a password or anything else. Mine is in that state right now. So let's go do that. And don't leave it in that state too long, because anybody who has Wi-Fi can connect to it, right? So, I mean, again, if they get into it and reconfigure it, whatever, you just reset it as I showed you, and you're back to let's do this right. So I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi on. I'm going to look at the available networks. And I see I got my Tenda on there. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. And you see TP-Link extender already connected because I'd already been connected to it. So let me just pretend here. Forget it. There we go. So this is what you're going to find. TP-Link extender, Wi-Fi, and it's open. So click on it, and it's going to warn you. So hit connect. There we go. And once you're connected, you're ready to configure it. Okay, so let's go do that. All right, and let me show you what happens here. I had to use two browsers to make this work correctly because the Firefox one I was using just didn't like the fact that it was an open network. So I'm using the Edge browser, and I'm using it in the private mode. So here it gives you a warning. Now, where you want to go is to TP-Link-Repeater.net. Just type that into your browser, www.TP-Link-Repeater.net, and that brings you to the access point. And it'll warn you that it's not secure. Continue to site here, right? And I do have it connected, right? Let's make sure. TP-Link extender, yep. All right, continue to site. Not secure. All right, there we go. Guess I didn't click it right the first time. All right, and then you get this. We're going to put in the password into it. Whatever you want the password to be, just remember it and put it in twice. And if you want to verify that you got it in correctly, just click this little button here and this little button there, and you can compare the two. Let's hit start. And there we go. Now we're into a quick setup. All these access points do this. And it, by default, is in the extender mode because that's primarily how they sell it. They sell it as an extender. I'm going to just bypass this and go to settings, show you a few little things. First of all, TP-Link Cloud Service. Again, read what it says. It basically allows you to use the Tether app to control everything, including this access point. I'm not going to buy into that. I don't have TP-Link routers. I just have this. So I'm just going to say don't show again. But if you want to go there, you can. But that's not the point of this video. So don't show again. Now, another thing people are going to ask me about is mesh. Now, this access point, as I stated, is a mesh access point, but only when it's running as an extender. When it's running as an access point, the mesh system doesn't go with TP-Link's mesh system or Easy Mesh. And TP-Link's mesh system is, I believe, not Open Mesh, but OneMesh. And Easy Mesh is like an industry standard that's coming along that's going to be that works across different manufacturers, not just one. And it's right here. So if you hit Easy Mesh, you have the option to turn it on and off, but only as the extender. Okay, so here, just like I said, FYI, I'm going to go here to, and that's probably part of the reason why the price of this is higher. It's got different technology than Tenda. Tenda does not have mesh at all on either mode. And for me, that's perfectly fine as well. And for most people, it probably is as well, since in access point mode, there's no mesh anyway. So here I'm going to hit the mode button up here. And we're going to change it from repeater to access point. And then we're going to hit save. And changing the operating will reboot the device. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So that means 2 minutes and 45 seconds of waiting for this to reboot. So again, this is something you're probably only going to do once or twice anyway, right? So here we're going to hit yes. And I will cut this video at this point and pick it up in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, we're back up. It automatically connected, but I disconnected it just to show you what shows up in the Wi-Fi screen. And you can see I have TP-Link extender 5 gigahertz. So choose one of them. Well, let's just go with the standard one, the TP-Link extender. Hit connect. And it's open, so there's no password required. So connected and open. So we're going to go to continue to site here. Again, TP-Link-repeater.net. Continue to site. There we go. And it will ask you to log in. We'll log in. And now we're in access point mode. And you can see that the easy mesh is gone. So there's no more mesh stuff. You can go to the quick setup if you wish. And here you've got two networks to set up. And let's just do it with the quick setup. Let's put a password in here. Let's try, let's go with this. There we go. We'll use torque wrench 707. And notice that TP-Link does not hide the password. So if there's somebody in the room watching you, they'll know what your password is. So note that, and that's kind of a security problem, but there it is. Now you know about it. So we're going to hit next on that. So it gives you the breakdown of what's going on, the passwords, on and on. And hit finish. Hopefully this won't take 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and 45 seconds here. Obviously it looks like it does not. So we're going to hit log in. And okay, we're not connected anymore. Let's go back to this. That makes sense. Since we put a username and password into an open network, it's not an open network anymore. Now it's a secure network. It'll boot back up here. I see that there's one here. The lights over there on the actual extender look okay. I see it here. Let's see if we can get to it. Yeah, that says open. It can't be that one. It's not open anymore. Once you put a password on an SSID, it's no longer open. It's now a secure network or a password protected network. So I got to wait for it. I'll wait for it to come up and then I'll pick up the video at that point. I turned off the Wi-Fi there for a second, turned it back on again. It's back up. So luckily I didn't have to wait that long for it. It's connected to TP-Link extender. And I'm going to, again, remember, I've configured this 14 times already. So my computer remembers the passwords I use. So I'm just going to forget them. Forget that one too. Okay. So what do we have? That one and this one. Now, TP-Link extender is the 2.4 gigahertz. And of course, this one's the 5 gigahertz. Choose either one. I'm going to choose this one. What the heck? Let's go with the slower one. Ask you for a password, so I'll put that in. It's torque wrench 070, and you can see it here. Verify it if you want. Control A and C. I wonder if I can copy it. There we go. And then next. There we go. Now it's connected and secured. So here we now can log into it. You have to be first connected to the access point. Here we go. Log in. And we're in. And now you've got an access point. This thing set up as an access point. Here we're going to go to the wireless settings. and just look at them. And you can see by default we're on WPA, WPA2, and you have that option. Now this is a big deal between the Tenda and this router, this access point. This access point actually gives you the option to allow WPA clients, which is WPA1. WPA is the first Wi-Fi protected access, and it allows you to do that. The Tenda does not. It only has WPA2 or WPA3. Now, for 99% of all users, WPA2 and 3 are perfectly fine. Most people don't need WPA, but you might. If you need if you have WPA only devices that connect to Wi-Fi, then this router, I keep calling that, this access point will actually allow WPA connections where the Tenda will not. It'll only allow WPA2 or WPA3 here. And as you can see, you've got an option. You only got two options. You've got WPA2, which is the recommended, right, on both, the 5 gigahertz and the 2.4, and WPA3, WPA2. Those are the only two options you have. So if you wanted just to use WPA3 on the Tenda, you cannot. You'd have to choose this and this. So both of them, it would accept connections from both. So most people, not a big deal, right? So just a heads up. The TP-Link will accept all of them, right? And the nice thing about the TP-Link, as I said in the other video, it gives you more granular control. So as you can see here, if I choose WPA and WPA2 personal, and that's the recommended, then I have options. I can tell it, look, only let WPA connect, or only let WPA2 connect, or you manage that and let them both connect, but happen automatically, right? So when you say auto, you actually get both. When you go to choose one or the other, you get an option on either one. Nice, right? You have, and then here you can choose the which kind of encryption you use, TKPI, TKIP, or AES. It's up to you. AES is the most secure, and I would go with at least WPA2. So yeah, you have those options. You also have the options here to change the channel width from 20 megahertz to 40 megahertz. And the same with the channel. You can actually pick the channel on either band that you want it to run on. It gives you that kind of granularity, as I was saying. It also allows you to choose an N only, BGN only mix mode, or a BGN AX mix mode. Of course, I'm going to go with the AX because it's the fastest. And here, you also get the option to go WPA2 and WPA3 like the other Tenda did. But in here, you have a setting auto or WPA3 only. Auto will give you both. It'll allow either one of those technologies to connect. But if you go here only, with WPA3 enabled, only clients and extenders supporting WPA3 can connect to the wireless network, which makes the wireless network more secure. So if all you have is WPA3 clients, then yeah, definitely use this and put it on this setting and leave it there, because that's the most secure setting. But there's a lot of old devices that are WPA2 and will not connect to WPA3. For instance, my old garage door opener, this is only WPA or WPA2. If you set this to 3, this thing cannot connect to the Wi-Fi, and then you can't open the garage door with your phone. Don't ask me how I know. I figured it out the hard way, let's put it that way. But I upgraded the garage door opener, and now it's WPA3 as well. But also, I have a Nest thermostat. It only connects with WPA2, which is surprising, and it's the version. It's the version 3. The 4 connects to WPA3, but the 3 does not. Weird, but it doesn't. And it's a fairly new device, so it's kind of something that just they didn't put into it. So yeah, there are some of my IoT devices that require WPA2 at the max, and they cannot do 3. So understand these settings. So I'm going to put this back on auto here, and I'll leave it on this. This is just fine. And basically, actually, let's just go back to the recommended setting, which is this. and leave it alone as basically the default setting. We'll test it with that and applying the settings. And again, we'll go through some more of these settings, but while that's happening, let me show you what's on the Tenda. The Tenda has no channel settings. It's got no real options on WPA other than, choose WPA2 or choose WPA3 and WPA2. That's it on both channels. That's it. No configuration of the bandwidth, no configuration of the channel. Now, granted, the Tenda, I don't know, seems to manage that stuff automatically, no problem at all, and give you all the speed you need. So I would like to have control over that, but it seems to do it well anyway. So it's not a big deal. There's not a performance hit because you don't have access to those settings. The other thing this thing does, the Tenda does, is you have this unify button, which basically takes both networks and turns it into one. And what that does is basically it says, okay, if you connect to this access point with a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, you'll be connecting to this Wi-Fi name, and it will do it automatically on 2.4 gigahertz. If you're connecting to it on 5 gigahertz, you'll be connecting on this Wi-Fi name. So one Wi-Fi name, two technologies at the same time. That's kind of cool, right? But the TP-Link does not have that feature. But for me, I actually like having two different networks or two different bandwidth Wi-Fi names, because then I know which one I'm connecting to, right? Otherwise, I don't know. So you can find out, but again. So here we are. The 2.4 gigahertz is configured. Go to the 5 gigahertz and same settings, right? Same setup. You have default settings on. You have two different settings. One with AX, one without AX. It's up to you which one you choose. You can tweak these settings and see if you can get better speed out of it. Now here, the auto, we've got 20 megahertz, 40 megahertz, 80 megahertz, and 160 megahertz. Auto seems to handle it pretty well, but you can force it to be the fastest one, which would be 160 megahertz. We'll leave it on auto for now. And then the channels, you have a whole bunch of different channels to choose from. Again, allows you to tweak those things if you want to. And again, same settings with WPA and WPA2 and WPA2 and WPA3 also, as I showed you, has the same settings. So it's the same both ways. I'm going to go with the recommended, leave all the default settings. And here, we're just going to hit save. And while that's happening, let's see if we can go look at anything else now. You basically, it reboots the Wi-Fi radios. Luckily, that only takes like maybe a minute, maybe 45 seconds. So that part is quick, but rebooting the router is forever. And I'll show you the rest of the settings that this has. So we'll go to status, and it shows you that we're set up as an access point. Wireless we've already seen. Network, well, probably won't be much there because we actually haven't connected this to the router yet. We're just connected to it by itself. So there's nothing there. Advanced settings, we got power schedule, so you can tell this thing to turn on and turn off at different times. The Tenda does not have that feature, right? It doesn't have, the ability to do that. As you can see here, there's maintenance, there's that, all that, but there's no power schedule. You can tell this access point to turn off at 6 o'clock and turn on 12 hours later at 6 o'clock, right? You can schedule that. So here we got the power schedule there. And are we connected to it yet? Let's see. Oh, no, we're not. Again, got to reconnect to it. So let's go reconnect to it. TP-Link Extender 2. There we go. Connect. I already did it anyway. You can see it updated. Let's go. Let's just connect to that. There we go. And once it connects, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's taking longer than what I thought. Yeah, I don't see the EXT. Oh, there's a 5. Network requirements, not sure what it's doing or why it's taking so long. Let's just do this. Turn off the Wi-Fi, turn the Wi-Fi back on. See if it figures itself out. Yeah, secured, already connected. So just turn the Wi-Fi, like Windows gets confused when you do these things. So again, let's see if the power schedule works now. Yeah, there it is. So here you would add, a schedule and off you go. Wi-Fi coverage. Well, you can tell it to be, you can extend the range of it or decrease the range. It gives you some, so if you don't want to flood the whole house, you just want it in a room, you can take it down, right? So it's pretty cool. You have that ability. Again, Tenda does not have that ability. Let's go down to access control. Tenda does have this. It has a blacklist, and you can put people in it or not. And whitelist is kind of pointless, really. I mean, whitelist is anybody that's allowed. So I don't understand why So basically, all you need is actually a blacklist. The people that aren't allowed. The rest of them are allowed, right? But whitelist sort of narrows that down. So system tools, let's go there. Time settings. The Tenda has that. This one's set correctly already. LED control, you can turn those LEDs off or you can set a schedule for it. Tenda has that as well here under LED indicator. I don't know if it says, it's just, and because I'm not connected to it, it's in Chinese, but, enable, disable, or schedule, disable. So you have those options. And let's see, firmware upgrade, standard stuff. Check for the upgrade. You can tell it to auto upgrade. I believe the Tenda has that same setting. No, it does not. So you have to manually detect a new version. Otherwise, you can download the firmware and install it. So Tenda doesn't have that. Again, the Tenda's much simpler access point, but it's just as capable as far as speed and capability goes. Features are limited, as you can see. So backup or restore, well, I think the Tenda has that as well. That allows you to, kick me out here again for some reason. TP-Link extender, connect, don't know why. I didn't change any settings, so I don't understand why it's kicking me out of there. Maybe it did an update, right? Again, we'll turn this off. Connect. You know what? I'm just going to go with the 5 gigahertz. Connect to that one. Yeah. Let's put that in. No idea why it's messing that up, but Windows does not like it when you're changing Wi-Fi parameters on the same name. So I'm connected, secured. Okay, so we're back online. I'll go back on that in a minute. Probably reboot will fix it. Usual fix is that. So there's backup, admin account. You can change the password, whatever. And you can tell it to go to HTTPS, which will allow you to, use a secure browser. I'm going to hit cancel on that. You can change that yourself. System log, well, here's what's happened so far, right? Pretty cool, right? Nice. It tells you what's going on. I believe the Tenda has that as well. Let's see. Yeah, right there. But it doesn't really show you it. You have to export it. So, yeah, as you can see, the TP-Link access point or extender gives you a way more control over it. But if all you want is to just upgrade your Wi-Fi on your router, the Tenda is just fine. And so is this one. This one will do that as well. So it's up to you what you want. Basically, what I'm showing you in this video is what the possibilities are with either one, right? So we're going to connect that router now. It's our router. I keep saying that. My apologies. That access point. So currently, there's no Ethernet on it. What we're going to do is grab an Ethernet cord, and then we're going to plug it into the access point in its Ethernet port. Let's see, I got that done. Yeah, I do. And I gotta grab the cable. Don't have to destroy anything in the process. Here we go. And now it's plugged in. You should have the same thing happening. Now I plugged it into the router, into one of these LAN ports, not the internet port, one of the LAN ports on the back of your router, whatever router you're using. Again, it's not specific to this router. It can work on anyone. And again, I would strongly suggest that if you're doing this, turn the other Wi-Fi on the router off, all right? Again, you get what they call Wi-Fi pollution. And you have enough of that probably from your neighbors who have 14 routers within, 200 feet of you, right? So the less that you add, the better. And the better for you and your performance with this situation or this setup. So at this point, we should be connected. Let's see what this says. TP-Link extender, yep. And I'm going to do this one here. I'm just going to tell it to forget it. I want to reconnect to it because it seemed to be giving us a problem here. So let's connect to TP-Link extender. That's the 2.4 gigahertz network. So I'll put my torque wrench in here. 707, there we go. And again, here the I button, you can see it, right? Make sure you got it right. Make sure you got it right because otherwise you'll be pounding on it and it's not going to connect. There we go. Okay, why did it do that now? Did I put the wrong? I must have done something incorrectly over here. Let's go back to the wireless. It's connected here on the 2.5, on the 5 gigahertz. So that, well, it will connect. Let's see. Connect. There we go. Connected and secured, and it's got internet. I must have messed up the password or something on the wireless settings. Let's go to wireless settings now that we're connected. Torque wrench 700. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to copy it straight from there. Everything else is standard. So I'm just going to hit save here. Let that reboot, and then over here, no idea why that happened. So I'm just going to hit forget on the extender 2. Anything else? And also, if you have broken Wi-Fi connections, they'll usually be at the bottom of the list, and they'll have a red, not a red, they'll have an X through them here. But we'll see here what happens. I'm still connected, so let's connect to that one. I'm just going to paste it in here because that's straight from the router. It doesn't give me the option to look at it though. It does not like me for some reason. Secured. Oh, okay. Well, see right here, this symbol that is like, you see that this has a whole bunch of radio waves coming from it. This has none. So that extender is still, this is still booting up, basically is what it's doing. So we're connected here with 5 gigahertz. We'll let that go for now. Let's go do some testing. Okay, we'll go back to this. Now, you can do this with this access point or extender. You can do it with the Tenda. You can go with the big BE10000 TP-Link, and you can do that with this one as well because it has an access point as well. Though I don't see it being advertised there. Let's see. 6-stream, ultra fast, easy mesh. Yeah, I'm sure it has an access point. Let's show more. But basically, look at this thing. 10 gigabits tri-band wireless repeater, 2.5 gigabits Ethernet. I don't even have a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port on my router, so this would be overkill. But you can do it. If you want major Wi-Fi, there you go, 149, and you can have it. So another thing too, and if you want to hook up to something like that, I found a great deal on a PCIe Wi-Fi 7 card, $27, and you get the PCIe card, you get the Wi-Fi card, 2 antennas, and a card that you can put into a PC. And it is the Intel BE200. And this is a really fast Wi-Fi card. I'm going to try it. I've already bought it, and it should be here by Wednesday. I'll do a video on it. But it basically what it is a PCIe Wi-Fi, card for your computer. But under this heatsink, there actually is a laptop Ethernet, so it's a Wi-Fi card. Let's see if I can show that to you here. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. What is under that heatsink is this. So I'm buying it to put it into my desktop PC, but also I'm going to take out this card from it, and I'll show you that in the video, and put it on in my laptop and see if it works there as well. Because for $27, as you can see, they're selling these for $37 just for the card. Now you can see it here for $24. Now I don't know if that's exactly the same or not, but not support all. What does that mean, right? So again, it says it doesn't support AMD. Does not support all AMD. So they're all saying the same thing. It needs to go into an Intel processor. And we'll see how that goes. I have mostly Intel processors, so we'll see what happens with it. Anyhow, let's see if we're back to working on the actual access point. Yeah, that looks good. And let's look at, yeah, look at that. It's already connected to it all by itself, right? And connected. And there's the TP-Link 5 gigahertz. Well, let's just stay on this for now. I knew it would. It just takes, like I said, that's the only part of this access point that is kind of annoying. It's slow to do those things, but it's not slow to do the speed. Now you can see here, that's my last test, but again, I had to try that about 20 times with different servers to get it. Let's see what happens this time. Let's go. And we are connected to it. Everything is off. All right. That's the other thing. You don't want, I've turned all Wi-Fi off except for it. Yeah, look at that. Very decent. It went up to 300 and something. That's slacking off a little bit, but it was up there. All right. And over here, it'll go to 40 here. That's no big deal. Over here, I have the other test where actually I got higher than this. Let's connect to the Wi-Fi 5. So here, extender 5 gigahertz, connect automatically, connect. There we are. We're on it. And then we'll click on this one and see what happens at University of Texas in Austin. Hit allow. Yeah, it's just smoking. And again, this is Wi-Fi performance. I mean, if you want to see over here on my internet connections and network connections, you see the only thing that's connected here to this computer is Wi-Fi, DDR, the 5 gigahertz 2, right? Now, if you want to look at how fast you're connecting to it or what the parameters are, go back here, click on this, and then hit the info button right there, and it will give you all the parameters. It'll tell you, TP-Link extender 5 gigahertz, Wi-Fi 6, 802.11ax. Now, if you don't have a Wi-Fi 6 AX card in your computer, you're not going to connect at these speeds. Networking requires everything to match, right? So I do, as you can see, I have an Intel Wi-Fi A6E AX210, 160 megahertz. So excellent. Now, the one that's coming in, the BE200, is actually 320 megahertz. So we'll see how that connects. But I don't think I have anything here that's going to be able to match that speed. I just bought it because it was $27 and I wanted to see how it works. So I'll have to figure out how to test that speed. But you can see the aggregate link speed here, 1201, 5 gigahertz speed. So we're connected pretty quick. Now, this changes all the time. So if you go here back to Wi-Fi and then back to the 5 gigahertz properties, you'll have a different number every time. See? Oh, no, it's still connected really fast. So let's go look at the speed test, 805. Let's try it one more time. And again, it is connected to this little router, right? And I can show you that right now by pulling the cable that it's connected to. And it should stop, but it doesn't. Obviously, it's caching data, right? But this is the Wi-Fi connection. And there you go. It doesn't do anything, right? Put it back in, and it should connect and have us running again. Yeah, see? Perfect. That's proves it right there. So wait for that to kick in again. And you can see it just disconnected right here because, the Wi-Fi said, hey, what happened? You disconnected my cable. All right, so here we go. Goes to 2, and there's the 5. So again, whichever one you want to connect to, connect. We'll go with the faster one. And that's it. So that's how you upgrade the Wi-Fi speed on any router. This will work on any router. It doesn't have to be this one, or like I said, just configure the access point, plug it into the router, turn the Wi-Fi off on the current router. Boom, you have it. Let's go do a refresh on that. Are we connected now? Yes, we are. Yeah, we'll use the University of Texas in Austin. Fine university, been there. And it cranks up, right? And I usually find that, you have to do it a couple times for it to actually get the fastest speed, but right now it's doing awesome. That is incredible speed. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to disable the Wi-Fi. So turn it off, go back to my internet connections or my network connections, turn on my Ethernet. It should connect. There. Identifying. And we're on the network. Let's try that again. I mean, this Wi-Fi is so fast that it matches the, almost matches the Ethernet speed, which is 1 gigabit per second, right? So yeah, there you go. See, there's Ethernet speed, and you saw what it was with Wi-Fi. So amazing upgrade. Again, I've been using this system for weeks. Actually, with the TP-Link access point, I used it for almost 4 months. So very stable, very solid, no problem. I've only used the Tenda for a week, like since I made the video, and no problem with it either. And if I didn't look at the connection, I wouldn't know which one I was connected to, and I'm only running one at a time because, like I said, Wi-Fi noise, keep it down, right? And again, I can recommend both of them highly with the limitations that you see in this video. In other words, if you need WPA, if you want to, play with the buttons and move the dials and get whatever speed you want, then of course the TP-Link is the better one. There may be others that you can do this with. For sure there are. Most access points or extenders can be turned into access points. I'm gonna do a little more research on that faster one up there, this beast, and see if it actually does have the access point, because I don't see it being advertised there. So before you buy that as an access point, make sure it does it, and I will be making sure. Also, definitely, if you need, Wi-Fi 7, the Intel, I always use Intel Wi-Fi adapters. They seem to work great, and they're also always compatible with Linux, which I use as well. But again, I would hold off until I make my video on this, because I don't know if this is going to work on every computer. And from what I can tell here, let's go back one more here. From what I can tell here, it says that it only supports, there's one that says what it supports. Only supports Intel 12th generation and above CPU. So you need an Intel CPU and one that is supported. So we'll see if I have one. My PC is pretty old, so I'll have to check and do some research and see which generation it is. There's one for $24 without all the hardware. And yeah, just stay tuned for that one. I'll be doing it on this card right here. And again, links for this stuff in the video description. Appreciate you guys using those. Help me out, help the channel out, helps me stay here and continue to put this kind of content out for you. And, stay tuned. We'll see what I come up with next. Before I say goodbye, comment section, put your comments, questions, whatever you want to say to me in the comment section. Really appreciate that. I look at those regularly, usually daily, and respond to them usually daily, and I really appreciate your feedback. I love it. If you have a video suggestion, definitely put it in there. If I find it valid or something I wish to do, I will make it. I will give you credit for it as well, whatever. I really, really like when people give me ideas. And the questions are awesome as well, because sometimes I just make a video to respond to the question, because the question requires so much explanation that the video is easier to make. Number one. Number two, it answers it for everybody, not just for the one person asking the question. There's usually more than one person asking the same question. So, all right, if you like my content, do me a favor. Give me a big thumbs up. Give me a like on the bottom of this video. It really helps my channel on YouTube, and it helps other people actually gravitate towards it as well. Also, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate that greatly. Just click the bell icon after you hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and then you can watch that at your own leisure. Well, that's it for my video. Once again, and like always, take care of yourself. Thanks for supporting my channel, and we'll see you on the next video.